Hey everyone. Just gonna do a quick 3.3 optional art project so that you have some guidance so you can do your own 3.3 optional artwork and get your credit for it. So this is basically a Mondrian neoplasticism artwork, and basically, you're going to use white and black, and then three other colors, the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and create a neoplastic piece of artwork, just like a Mondrian. Now, I was thinking when I was going to do this, I was going to use different colors. I was going to use orange and purple and brown and green and none of these colors. And I was going to make it my own. But then when I was about to start, I decided that I really wanted to use the traditional colors because I just really love all of Mondrian's artwork, and I just want to kind of experience making it just like he did. But you can choose whatever colors that you want. Now, Edia really doesn't get into this, but the truth is that Mondrian used white and black as contrast to set off his colors that he used, the primary colors. It gets into just the basics of life, right? Like the primary colors are just the basics of the color wheel, and so this is just the basics colors of life, right? Quote, air quotes, right? So these colors had meaning to Mondrian, and every day that he made one of his neoplastic piece of artwork, these colors stood for what was happening that day. So for instance, when I do mine, blue is going to stand for the amount of calm or peace or tranquility exists in today, the day I'm making this artwork. Yellow is going to stand for the amount of energy that I have today, this day that I'm making this artwork. And red is going to stand for the amount of stress that I have, right? So I'm going to think about my day and how much calm, how much energy I have, and how much stress I have. And that is the amount of these colors that's going to exist in the artwork. So you can choose other colors to work with if you don't want to stick with these, traditional colors, and assign something to them that you want to express in your artwork. All this artwork should be completely about you and what is going on in your life. So, go for it. I mean, you could even do a blue background with red and black on top of it, whatever color combination you want. I really want you to just have the freedom to make this artwork your own, exactly how you want it to be. Now, to get started, I'm going to have the white background, and from the black, I measured out quarter inch and put dots at every quarter of an inch. In Edio, I think they tell you to do a half inch. You can do whatever measurements you want. And then from there, I just took my ruler and I connected the marks from one end to the other like this, drew the lines so that it looked like this, kind of pinstriped. And then I just cut on along the lines to get these quarter-inch strips. So just to make sure that when you're lining up to make your dots, if you start on one end with it lined up, when you go to the other end, make sure you start with it lined up on the other end. Otherwise, they won't line up and they'll be more diagonal because you'll have a little bit left over at the end. So I'm going to finish cutting out my strips. I'm going to do kind of the same thing to these. I'm going to measure out inch blocks, 2-inch blocks, and 3-inch blocks, and then cut them out. And then so that I have all different size blocks of these three colors. And then I'm going to figure out how much calm, how much energy, and how much stress I'm feeling today. And then I'm going to start to make my composition. So I'm going to do all the cutting out off screen, and then I'll come back to show you the next step. I'm now getting ready to cut out my colored geometric shapes. And I just want to show you one thing was that I made the lines. I measured out 1, 2, 3 blocks going both horizontally, both width and height of the paper. And I don't feel like measuring that out for all the papers. So what I do is I line up the paper like this, and then I can just kind of make a little tick mark where those lines are onto the other color papers so that I don't have to measure them out twice, right? And then I'll just flip it over and line it up again and make those tick marks all the way across, and then do that on all four sides. And then you don't have to measure out the lines. Now you could just use your ruler and connect the tick marks. And you do definitely save yourself a little bit of time, and it works out. It works out perfectly. And then you have a ton of boxes to work with. All I have to do now is use my ruler to connect the lines and cut them out. All right, so that's a really easy way to get all your blocks made on your colored paper. So now I have my black strips cut out. I have my primary colors blocks cut out. I have a lot of blocks. You probably really only have to cut like a third of the page, maybe. You don't really need to cut all of them out because, you know, each color is as much area as the background. So you're not going to cover up the whole thing. So now I'm just going to start arranging my blocks on my page. And then once I get them arranged, I'm going to put the black strips on top to outline their location. So I know already that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have mostly yellow because I feel really energetic today, and yellow represents energy for me. We have mostly yellow, and then the second most I'm going to have is the blue, and then the least amount I'm going to have red. And I'm going to try to have the colors be 50% of the white surface. All right, so I'm going to work on that now off screen, and I'll come back as soon as it's done. So now I have my composition laid out a little bit. And so this area here is represents like the beginning of my day. And I have a lot of energy and a lot of peace. And then, the middle of the day, I start to have stress, but I still have energy and not that much peace. And then the end of my day, I have a little energy, not a lot, but a lot of peace, again, like I did in the beginning. So this is my day today. And I'm gonna glue all the pieces down now that I've got it all laid out. And I will come back and show you the finished piece. I have a few of my colored geometric shapes glued down. And it is not the easiest thing to do because everything keeps moving. So what I suggest is that you kind of wet your finger and then pick up one of the cut pieces and put a little bit of glue down on it, and then try to line everything up and put it back down. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. It's best to just keep moving around until they all kind of get lined up. So I'm gonna keep working kind of like this. Little bit of glue on the back. Then line them up as best as you can. And then last, I'm gonna glue down the black lines. I have all of my squares, my geometric shape, my rectangles and squares glued down, um, just from the middle, like just a little glue in the middle. And now I'm gonna just one at a time glue down my strips on top of the. Once again, don't worry about being perfect. It's okay if a little white peeks out or if they overlap at not a perfect 90-degree angle. We're just, this is art. So, it's meant to be fun. So enjoy. Okay, so now I have all of my strips glued down and all of my colors glued down. And I'm just gonna take my scissors and I'm going to cut off all of the pieces that are hanging off the sides. Just clean it up a little bit so it's a nice rectangle shape without things hanging off. And I have to say, I really, really love it. I love, I love the way it came out. And it was, I have to say, it was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Um, to line everything up and get the right proportions. But it was also way more fun than I thought it was going to be. And I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. I think it's awesome. And it might actually turn into a painting because I like it that much. And like I said, I didn't think I was going to like it this much. So give it a try, get your bonus points. It took me about a half an hour to make it. So make sure you have about a half an hour to relax and get it done. And good luck.